Life is totally out of control right now. You have no idea what is happening. You try to put out one fire and another one pops up. There is so much going on, and none of this was your doing. You didn't even cause it. You didn't ask for this, you didn't expect it, and you definitely didn't plan for this. And to top it all, you now have to make these important life decisions when life is in a mess. There's absolutely no logic, and quitting is not an option. Tempting, yes, but not an option. Don't worry, I know exactly how you feel because I was there not long ago. In fact, just last week. If you don't know my story, I am planning to move to London at some point this year to join my husband, who is already there for work. I just don't know when the right time is to pack up my life here from Australia. We need to save for the ridiculous visa costs. To top that, my rental lease here in Australia was coming to an end. They increased my rent, so that's a dent in my savings. Moving countries is no joke. There's the job situation, transporting my two beautiful dogs who are right behind me, logistics, timelines, all clashing at once. I was this close to making panic decisions just to feel relief. That's when it hit me. The problem wasn't the chaos. It was my need to stay in control, to manage everything, predict everything, fix everything. You either end up giving up on the dream or you make a terrible mistake that you will regret later. I didn't do either. I literally saved myself from me. So in this video, I am going to show you how I got back into flow so your nervous system calms down and you feel in control again, and then how to go to the root cause of that resistance you are feeling and nip it at the bud so you feel free again. Then I'm going to talk about how to ground yourself fast and return to sanity when everything around you feels chaotic, and how to then step back into your main character energy and make decisions as that woman who is in power. And stay till the end because I'm going to share that one powerful meditation technique that will instantly clear your mind, and after doing that technique you will come out knowing all your answers. Wait, don't skip the video because it won't make any sense if you missed the previous chapters. So go grab a drink or coffee. I got mine here and let's get into it. If we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Shom. I've coached hundreds of women through identity shifts, life transitions, and decision paralysis, which is today's topic. By profession, I'm a change manager. By purpose, I'm an identity transformation coach. I wrote a book last year in 2025 called The Law of Being. It's a 3-day manifestation method, and founded my coaching business called Pathway to Purpose, where I help women and men stop overthinking their lives and start becoming the woman or the man who moves with clarity and confidence. If you want to work with me, need some private coaching or resources, everything is linked below in the description. Now let's get on with chapter number 1, control. When you're pushed into a situation where you need to juggle too many things at once, you tend to overthink. You will either micromanage. You are basically in your fight mode, not flight, fight. You are too brave to quit, I know that. So you start planning 5 steps ahead of you into the future, in the what ifs. And that's okay. You are just trying to feel safe again. It's basic human tendency, but it does more harm than good. So this is what I did instead. Take notes if you want. Pause this video right now and go grab your notebook and a pen. Ready? Step number 1. I separated my internal locus of control from my external locus. What does that mean? So I looked at what I can control and what I cannot control. My current facts, my resources, the job I have, the roof over my head, my savings, current savings. These are the things that are tangible. They are in my hand right now. They're not just on a vision board. They are real. And then I looked at what I cannot control. Everything that happened outside of me, the timing. I called it the great unfolding of the universe. Other people, their reactions, their decisions. When you separate the two locus and start focusing just on what you can control, the problem does not seem that big anymore. It's not big of an issue. You learn to detach. You let go. of what you cannot control, because control isn't about gripping tighter to everything around you. It's about knowing where your power actually is and then stay there. Chapter number 2, resistance. Why do you actually feel stuck? So this is step 2. We are going to dissect the situation just a little bit more and understand where this resistance is coming from. You see, based on that locus of control, there are 2 types of resistance. Again, write this down. Number 1, you got the external resistance. These are external blocks. These are things you didn't cause or plan and did not expect. Then there is this internal resistance. Your own doubt, fear, discomfort comes from you. This is keeping you from trusting the unseen. You now get lazy because it's just too hard. External chaos you cannot control, and they trigger the internal resistance. So the 2 are actually interlinked. And triggers make you react, not respond. You try to make sense of what is happening, try to connect the dots like a scattered diagram that doesn't have any pattern. You try to navigate through this maze and find the way out, but now you're so exhausted and caught up, you want to either throw the towel or you coast, or worse, you will make a terrible mistake, and I don't want you to do that. Chapter number 3, how to get back into the flow. Now we know that your internal resistance was caused by these external triggers. So the aim here is to get quickly back into the flow state where there is no resistance. Everything is effortless. First of all, understand that flow does not come from taking more actions. It just comes from being. When you are in the divine flow, you will move and act on autopilot, tirelessly, effortlessly. You will take actions that you didn't even know that you took, and that's what we want. So the number 1 thing you need is stability. Here's what I want you to do. Pause. This is the time of non-action. You are not going to make any decisions right now. Don't try to fix anything. From that pause will come stability. You can use a few techniques I teach in my coaching program, like journaling your thoughts. Something amazing happens when you write. There's a reason that writing things down on actual paper calms you almost instantly. Not on your phone or on your notes app, pen and paper. When you write by hand, that physical act of writing activates multiple neural pathways at once, which naturally will settle your system. The next thing you are going to do is separate your human identity from your higher self. I literally start saying this. Shom is the one who's feeling anxious. Shom is overwhelmed. I am not Shom. I am not her. The human me is feeling all that. The divine me is unaffected. And as soon as I detach myself from the emotional being, I feel a gush of calmness run through my body. I can almost feel the flow now returning. The logical thing that will happen after this is you will question yourself, if I am not this human, then who is this entity that is aware the human Shom is feeling overwhelmed? Who is this? Who am I? Maybe too deep for this video, so let's get on to chapter number 4, zooming out to the end state. Now, after you have done your grounding exercise, the next thing you will do is remind yourself of the end state, that vision board goal. What did you set out to do, achieve this year? What was the end goal? We get so lost in the maze that we forget where we were headed, where we were even going. When you zoom out, life stops looking like a maze and it starts looking like a little bit more straight line. It's like a map. When you continue to zoom in more and more, you start seeing the twists and the turns of the road. But as you zoom out, it's almost like a linear path. You just need to know the direction and focus only on the 200 meters in front of you. So zoom out, look from the bird's eye view, and you will see clearly. Congratulations, you are now back in flow. You remind yourself, who am I being? Claim that future identity and think like her. Show up as her. Make decisions like her. And you know how reality works. It's just a mirror principle. Your inner state will dictate the outer reality. Everything will now start ironing out. You have fresh pair of eyes now, and so life is going to straighten itself out. Chapter number 5, how to make decisions from that flow state. You might be thinking, okay, Shom, I'm calm now, but life hasn't really disappeared. I still have to deal with the landlord, I still have to pay my bills, I still have real world things happening right now. Yes, of course you do. Flow doesn't mean you float away from reality. It means you stop fighting it. From my experience, once you're back in flow, decisions stop feeling heavy. Not because the situation changed, but because you did. You're no longer reacting, now you are responding. And when that happens, actions will not feel forced. They feel natural. Almost like they are moving through you instead of being dragged out of you. That's called inspired actions. So let me tell you exactly what I did when my life genuinely felt like a maze. Number 1, I looked at facts, only facts, not perceived facts, not future fears, not imagined worst case scenarios, just facts. And my facts were, I have a stable, well paying job. I have a roof over my head. I live in a very beautiful location. I'm safe. I'm not in survival. So then I asked myself a very hard question. If my reality is actually okay, why am I so agitated? And the answer was uncomfortable, but honest. The agitation wasn't coming from lack. It was coming from impatience, the desperation to get to the dream right now, to collapse time, to skip the steps, and I had to own that because that pressure wasn't life doing something to me. It was me doing it to myself. Once I saw that clearly, my nervous system settled. Number 2, I worked with my current resources, not my fantasies. This is where people get it wrong. They think that manifestation means ignoring the reality. It doesn't. This is where logic, practicality, and grounded thinking will step in. This is the human part of the job. I looked at what I have, what I can afford. Sometimes the most aligned decisions isn't exciting. Sometimes it looks boring. You don't blow up your present in the hope that the future will catch you. Number 3, I did the next right thing. Nothing more. I didn't try to solve the entire journey. I didn't try to force timelines. I didn't try to outsmart life. I kept visualizing, yes. I kept believing, yes. That's inner work. That's fourth dimensional work. But in the 3D world, in the third dimensional, the world we actually live in, you still have to deal with what's in front of you. Manifestation is how things come about. You are not the only one making it happen. There is a divine intelligence unfolding things in ways that you cannot see, perceive, or understand. Your vision is limited because you're human, like driving at night with headlights that only show you 200 meters ahead of you. You don't panic about a cliff you haven't reached yet. You drive what's visible. You cross the bridge when you get there. That's not only your job, but also where your power lies. So you make decisions from strength and not fear. You let the universe do its job. It does not need you reacting to every single thing that's happening. Your job is action, clean action, aligned action, inspired action. Let me bring this home properly. Every single day, new situations will arise. Some will support you, some will challenge you. So you need an internal way of navigating life that never changes. And here's that one last thing I promised you earlier. Simple meditation technique that pulls you out of chaos fast. It's called Anapana meditation. It's part of Vipassana. This is where you step into the observer mindset. And before that sounds very heavy, let me make it very real. You're not trying to stop your thoughts here. You're not trying to fix your emotions. You are not analyzing anything. You're just separating yourself from what you are feeling. When emotions hit you hard, you are the chaos. In this practice, when you start doing this, you become the one watching the chaos, like sitting on the bank of the river, watching the water move. You're not in the river. You are not the river anymore. If you want to practice this technique using a guided meditation, then check out the video in the description. It's this particular secret meditation technique I always use to regulate myself and get back in the flow almost instantly. If this video resonated and you are ready to stop looping in the same identity, I have created an identity guided journal which is designed exactly for this, to remove your limiting beliefs, help you to embody a new identity, give you morning pages, night reflections, and a habit tracker to anchor that new version of you into daily life. It's linked in the description below. And if you want to work with me more closely, you can book a free clarity call with me. Remember, you're not lost, you are just becoming. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.